Stop scrolling for a second. I'm about to say something that will make a lot of men nod in secret, and a lot of people in the comments furious. If you're a man in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, staying single for a while might be the best decision you ever make. Not because women are bad or because relationships are a scam, but because too many men enter relationships before they've built a life they actually enjoy. And then they wonder why they feel trapped. Let me tell you a story. A guy I know got into a relationship and suddenly his entire life changed. Before, he went to the gym 4 times a week. He was saving money. He was reading. He had plans to start a business. 6 months later, his gym bag was collecting dust, his savings account looked like a crime scene, and every weekend was spent attending somebody's birthday dinner, cousin's wedding, friend's bridal shower, or a brunch that cost more than his electricity bill. One day I asked him, "Bro, are you happy?" He looked at me like a hostage, trying not to blink. And that was the moment I realized something. A lot of men are not afraid of being single. They're afraid of being judged for being single. Think about it. A man says, "I'm focusing on myself," and people act like he announced he's moving into a cave. Society treats single men like unfinished products. Don't you want to settle down? Who will take care of you? When are you getting serious? Nobody asks a broke man when he plans to get financially serious. Nobody asks an unhealthy man when he plans to get physically serious. But the moment a man is single, everybody becomes a relationship consultant. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The average man is lonelier in a bad relationship than he is when he's alone. At least when you're alone, the silence is honest. A bad relationship is noise pretending to be companionship. And let me tell you the funniest part. Single men get accused of being selfish. Of course they're selfish. They eat the last slice of pizza without holding a family meeting. They sleep diagonally across the bed like kings. They buy gadgets without first asking, "Do we really need this right now?" They can disappear for 4 hours, go for a drive, listen to music, come back, and nobody says, "So you just forgot I exist." That level of peace is so rare that some men experience it once and start protecting it like a national treasure. I know another guy who got married young. Great guy, good heart, hardworking. But every decision became a negotiation. He wanted to buy a motorcycle. Discussion. He wanted to travel with friends. Discussion. He wanted to change careers. Discussion. He wanted to sleep. Apparently, also a discussion. One night he called me and said, "I miss making decisions without writing a proposal." I laughed for 5 minutes. Then I realized he wasn't joking. Now listen carefully, because this is where people misunderstand the message. I'm not saying never get married. I'm saying a man should learn to enjoy his own company before inviting somebody else into his life. If you cannot spend a Saturday alone without feeling empty, a relationship will not fix that emptiness. It will only distract you from it. And distractions are expensive. Do you know what happens when a man stays single intentionally for a few years? He learns how to manage money, how to cook, how to clean. He learns how to sit with his thoughts. He learns that boredom is not an emergency. He learns that peace is addictive. One of the darkest things I've noticed is that some men stay in relationships they hate because they cannot imagine starting over. They would rather be miserable with company than peaceful alone. Ask yourself honestly, if there were zero social pressure, would you still choose your current relationship? That question has ended more delusions than therapy. Let me tell you another quick story. A friend broke up with his girlfriend after a 3-year relationship. Everybody treated him like a tragedy had occurred. 3 months later, he had lost weight, started a side business, reconnected with friends, paid off debt, and looked 10 years younger. Someone asked him, "How are you doing?" He said, "I forgot what it felt like to wake up excited." That line stayed with me, because that's the real point. Staying single is not about avoiding love. It's about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need love to feel valuable. There is a huge difference between wanting a partner and needing one. Wanting is healthy. Needing is dangerous. A man who needs a relationship will tolerate disrespect, manipulation, constant drama, financial chaos, and emotional exhaustion just to avoid sleeping alone. A man who is comfortable single can walk away from anything that threatens his peace. And peace is not boring. Peace is productive. Peace is going to the gym because you want to, not because you're trying to recover from an argument. Peace is spending an entire Sunday reading, gaming, working, praying, traveling, or doing absolutely nothing without guilt. Honestly, some men don't need a girlfriend. They need sleep, sunlight, and a savings account. Now, before the comments section explodes, let me be fair. Great relationships exist. Healthy marriages exist. Loving partners exist. But those relationships usually happen when two whole people come together, not when one exhausted person looks for another exhausted person to rescue them. If you're single right now, don't rush. Build your body, build your mind, build your income, build your friendships. Build a life that feels good even on the days when nobody texts you. Then, if love arrives, you can choose it from strength instead of desperation. And here's the final thought. Imagine two men. One cannot be alone, so he accepts almost anyone. The other enjoys his life so much that he only makes room for someone who genuinely improves it. Which man do you think makes better decisions? Exactly. So if you're single tonight, stop acting like you're waiting in an airport for your real life to begin. This might be the season where you become the strongest, richest, healthiest, and most peaceful version of yourself. And years from now, you may look back and realize that being single was not a delay. It was the upgrade. If this video made you laugh, think, or feel personally attacked, do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend who keeps getting back with his ex every 3 months, and drop a comment below. Be honest. What is the hardest part of being single as a man, and what is the best part? I'll see you in the next video.